My Nana's brother was selling her stuff behind her back and pocketing the money. Let me explain. Fall of 2011. Also, I put D1 and D2 for both of their names started with a D, and also privacy reasons. Me and my family, my mom, my sister, and my brothers, were moving out of our small town home and into my, later found out, abusive stepfather house. The house that we lived in belonged to my grandma and grandpa, who had bought their house in the early 1940s to build their family. They had two sons, D1 and D2. D1, who was born in 1940, and D2 was born in 1942. My Nana would later be born in 1947. The house they and we, me and my mom and my siblings lived in, was built in the late 1890s or early 1900s. The house was also my Nana's and her brother's childhood and teenhood house. My Nana also lived in a newer built house right next to my grandma and grandpa house to stay close, and also when she had my mom in the late 60s, but I'm getting off track. My Nana worked as a nurse between the late 60s up until the late 80s. She had to retire due to health reasons. Now my Nana, in the words of my mom, her daughter, oh, my mom was bougie as frick. She worked at a correction facility and her state prison. She made a lot of money working as a nurse in the late 60s, the 1970s, and the 1980s. She had fur coats, fur hats, gloves that were trimmed with fur, and had multiple expansive dresses and expensive clothing. Not only that, but she still had her prom dresses back when she was in high school in the early 60s, and they were not cheap, and as well as her nurse's training uniform back when she was at nursing school in 1966.